Well, good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Tonight's episode is going to be unscripted chatter from the Lucky Penny. A while ago, I was trying to overcome my fear of people. I backed off on doing that a bit. I don't know why. I guess I just got lazy, and maybe I'll get back to doing that. But I was wandering around one day and just decided to walk into a bar and just start talking to people and having conversations. So, Mike and Todd, if you watch this, I have not forgotten about you. I haven't been back to that bar since. And maybe we'll cross paths again someday. But all right, here we go. Let me share my screen with you. And we will listen to some unscripted chatter. Here we go. Hi there, and welcome to I'm Only Human, a podcast that attempts to explain how to coexist with other humans. This podcast segment shall now be called Unscripted Chatter. I don't know where any of these conversations will lead. It's an adventure for both you and me. Here is your chance to be a fly on the wall and find out what is on the minds of other people. Everyone is important and some want to share their stories. We don't have any reason to fear one another. It's time to put down the phone and start looking up. It's about time we reconnect with good old-fashioned face-to-face communication. I am not an expert, and I don't claim to be one. My name is Jen, and I'm an average human. I want to break down the barrier and start communicating on a meaningful level. Maybe that is what is needed to invoke revolution. Through open minds, healing is possible. I believe that changed minds and attitudes can change our world.
Hi, my name's Todd Hansen. I live in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
No, my name is Mike Gwynn. I'm a carpenter for Titan Building Company. So I do a lot of government work to building Section 8 housing downtown. I'm in every walk of life around here. It's kind of neat how I sit back and, how's stuff done in Milwaukee? How's stuff done here? And no, it's just kind of like why I like this little bar. You have every walk of life in here.
Right.
See, I come here Monday and Tuesday because, the rest of the week, I have other work shit after work. I'm Monday and Tuesday, I get everything the weekend and how they're doing, what's going on. I'm this is just the most fun bar, everything's going on. See, and I just sit and smile because I know a lot of the bar owners. I like doing City Hall. I know everybody on the board, the cops. I kind of get to know what's behind the scenes and what's really going on as I sit here and listen. I love watching people and listening to all the backstories and shit.
Me too. Sometimes when I don't know what the story is, I make up my own story. I was hanging out, my boyfriend and I, we were hanging out at Manuka Park yesterday. We couldn't hear the conversations going on, but it was funny.
I love people watching. There's a couple bands I go see something because there's some epic people watching here.
Right.
It's fun to me.
It is. Once you see people for people rather than, an enemy, it's all different.
And here you get to hear about, Todd, his personal story.
I could have made you a bag with ice.
Where he came from. You get to know people. It's wow, man.
I could have made you a bag with
He
ice.
seems a little different. He's completely harmless. But the man, I know for years, never is a negative person. He never belittle you. He'll be the butt of everybody's joke, smiling about him. He just always has the most shiny personality. Everybody's oh, that's Todd. He's sitting there drunk every day. I'm the guy's had a long life, a hard life, and he's just done.
Right? Just let him do what he wants to do.
He leaves here, he walks across the street, he's 3 doors down,
Right.
doesn't drive, doesn't.
Right.
But it's always fun. Always, hey, beautiful, how you doing?
Right.
You know what? I need more of that shit in my life.
So I need more positivity, and I'm just trying to break through that barrier where I'm so afraid of people that I'm afraid to have fun. And
Listen to my story, and what they do is sitting here talking to you. Okay, somebody's doing a podcast. Something never had that happen before. It's okay.
something different.
I'm more of a people person, just hey, what do you do for a living? I've lived in 11 states. I've lived every walk of life, rich to my dad had a lot of money, mom didn't. I've been poor, but it made me appreciate that. Dude, there's a whole lot of life out there.
Right? There's more to just sitting at home and watching TV day in and day out.
Well,
People are fascinating.
I don't have cable.
Really?
If I'm sitting on the house, I have nothing but to do. I'll turn on YouTube and I'll watch. There's a couple of channels I watch. One guy does all about the United States, like what the states are, what's the best capitals, and I watch learning shows. And just, I'm like, I have nothing new. I'll type in like, hey, I want to know about gold mining in Alaska today, and just it's different. Like I said, when I moved up here, like they always have to find a reason to change it. My son lives with his mom there in a week. He's 18. When he came home with that new map, I'm like, well, I was a beekeeper. I had 150 beehives. Like I supplied Sprecher Brewing, raised grain. I helped them move in the new place because I supplied them all the honey they needed. We go to farmers market. And since my son was 4, he helped me manage the beehives, loaded up drums and barrels, and he worked the farmers markets with me. And I'd be left alone for 3 hours. Hey, you do this. I got to run here. But he could do math in his head.
Okay.
And when he got into upper grades, and they're like, tried that new math, he's like, Dad, I don't get it. I would teach him, like, why does he need to do it? It's a simple math problem. He can do it in his head, but you're making it difficult.
Right. And there is no reason. I don't even know if they still do that or not.
The government was come and tell you, like, hey, we're going to make this stupidly hard. Why? Stay the out of it.
Right. I just think education, it would be nice if they taught things like agriculture, the trade goods, stuff that'll help you survive rather than how to earn a buck off your fellow man.
Actual life skills.
Right, exactly. Like they used to. Like that's why they had home ec in school, so you know how to cook for yourself. They really should teach people how to grow things for themselves, I think, because what happens when money doesn't rule the world anymore? What happens when there's no farmers left? How are you going to get your food?
You know what's funny? I think about that, and I have a huge garden. And everybody laughed at me all the time. Like, I spend a lot of time in my garden. On my vegetables, I've been bringing them in, my cauliflower, everything. I get it ready, and I put it in my freezer, and everybody's like, all this time you spend. You know how much cheaper my grocery bill is than everybody else's? It's astronomical.
I'm amazed that they charge so much money just for like regular healthy food. It's insane. It's like they want people to be unhealthy and eat all this processed crap.
Well, they made it so nobody's smart enough to be able to fend for themselves, grow their own food, do their own thing. They made it impossible. So now you have to buy it from a grocery store, which is not even the best shit.
Right.
Now they're making money on it.
Right, and now you don't even have to prepare your own meals. You can get them delivered. You can do that fresh food thing. It's like people don't know how to take care of themselves anymore.
Freaking TV.
Right.
Go look America's Test Kitchen. There are simple, basic recipes, old school. They just had probably one of the better meals you've ever had. So instead of watching TV, spend a half an hour with your family, your kids, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever.
Right.
Talk while you cook dinner. That's family time.
Nobody does that. And it would be nice, like, maybe one day I'll spark a revolution where we can have like a 5-hour work day so that way we can attend to our family and we still get paid what we need to live. I don't know how to explain it. We can get the same amount of work done in 5 hours that people get done in 8 hours realistically.
You know, and I think I know what you're saying, and I get it. Like, people need to stop prioritizing their life as how much money can I make?
Exactly.
But the problem is you almost have to go take less time to make the money because the cost of living is so high.
Right.
No, everything is so expensive. Like if you were to provide, I mean, look back on the day when a guy could go to work. It's not a sexist thing.
No, I understand.
But a guy back then would go to work, come home, and provide for his family.
You're the only one who's sending.
Now, the idea of having 3 children, like old parents need to work full time, pay every one of their bills. Now they're not spending time with the kids, the family, doing things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't know how to phrase it. But yeah, if we spent more time with our kids, there wouldn't be all this crime in the world. We wouldn't have all these welfare babies stop rewarding people for being lazy. Eventually people will do what they have to do to survive. type thing.
It's
If we keep enabling, it's never going to change. And
I have a point of view. A lot of people do not share with me, but
go for it.
okay, you got this one. I want you to eliminate welfare.
Okay.
Remember, you asked me, well, if I was raised, if you can bitch about something, you need to have the answer to fix it. Well, I think I do.
Okay.
You get rid of welfare. It was like, well, how do people feed? Well, let me tell you how they get fed. Say you decide to quit your job because somebody hurt your feelings one day or you wanted to slack off. Now, who's going to take care of you and put a roof over your head? Your family. So you better be nicer to your mother, be respectful. You need to say, keep closer ties with your family because something bad can happen. They will help you to put a roof over your head till you get back on your feet. But who's also the first one to wake you up off that couch, ass off, go look for a job today.
Right.
Might not be the most glorious job in the world, but you need to make some money to support your family.
Right. My brother is trying to start this thing, but he's doing it for weight loss, but he's calling it Accountability Nation, and I think that's way more than just weight loss. Accountability Nation is something we all need. We all need to be held accountable for the shit we do, because if we're not accountable, then that's just going to teach our kids the same thing. Because if dysfunction raises dysfunction, they don't know any better. How are things ever going to get better?
You're absolutely correct. There's no like, hey, I'm gonna go out and do this. Like I was working on a job down on 32nd Center. Kids, they're called the Kia Boys, are going out and stealing cars. So the cops are like, how are they still so much out there? He goes, because the gang, the Kia Boys gang, are from 16 and under. So they go out and steal a car. They can't be held as an adult. They're literally back on the streets in 4 hours stealing cars. You go to the parents and it's like, you know what your kid's doing? What? I don't know. I can't watch them all the time. They're not parenting.
Until their kid's shot by a police officer and like, oh, they were such a good boy.
There you go. Tommy was a great boy. Pull up his arrest record. Well, you can't put that out there. It makes him look bad. So this job I was on, 32nd Center, is a drug dealer across the road. We knew it. Big deal. All of a sudden, they come to the job. Here comes one guy. Here comes another guy shooting at him. And I'm literally, from me to him, bullets flying. I go to the general on the job, and I'm like, this is Greenfire, which is a minority-owned company, comes in and says, well, nobody died. I'm like, wait a minute. I have bullets and guns. So they came in, they put a Connex box wall. They stacked them up, built a wall around the job. All of a sudden, they were protesting in the neighborhood because the Connex box made them look unsafe. It made us look bad. And I'm like, are you out of your mind?
What is wrong with the world today? I don't understand what's wrong with people. Like, we forgot that we're human beings. From even at my job, like upper management, did they forget that they're humans too? Like, why do they have to be chained to the company? It's all because of greed. And then it rolls downhill. So we get the brunt of everything, and the cracking the whip harder, and we're not doing good enough. I got to work 48 hours a week right now, mandatory, and it's never going to end.
See, that's one thing I love about the company I work for. I work for Titanville, a smaller company, but we are basically like, I'm the partner for the courthouse and stuff. But if I'm on a concrete job, sometimes the owner of the company who started it, 2002, he's out there in my concrete finisher. Like, not like, hey, I'm sitting here and touch your money. He every day is out there working with us. And to have that, like, hey, Dave, I need this tool. Well, go get it. Let's get this done faster. Let's get done better. We're not young kids. Let's go. But I hear guys that work for, like, Michael's Corporation, like, it's miserable. I'm like, yep, there you go. You work for the big guy who sits in the office and collects a paycheck. Doesn't do a damn thing.
Right.
Owner of my company is like scrounging, hey, how do I feed every one of my employees' families every week? How do I keep them working? I'm like, and I appreciate it.
Right.
You know, I need a day off of my family. You need to go take care of your personal shit. You're better to me as an employee if you take the day, fix your stuff, whatever's going on.
Thank you for
Right. And again, if we had more time to spend with our families, there wouldn't be so much personal stuff going on. It all affects everything else.
But he's awesome with this. Hey, you guys pick your schedule. If the whole crew wants to start at 6 and get out at 2 and get to somewhere, or somebody's kid has something, you go do it.
Right.
And there's never a problem. There's never a backlash. And like I said, it's a small company, but at my age, I'm one of the youngest carpenters in my building. He hires guys who have so much experience.
Okay, that's nice.
It really is.
He's one of the dumbest carpenters in his building. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Todd's back on the podcast.
I just really think
He's a good buddy of mine.
our country is getting sidetracked.
Okay, sorry, that was just funny.
Todd's just funny, yes.
I'm funny looking.
No, you're just, I wouldn't say funny looking.
Oh, I would.
Good humor.
But the priority changed from family and living happy and having a happy life to how do I pay the bills? How do I manage this? And not the important shit. Family always be there, you know.
And if not, you can find another group of people that becomes your family.
That's it. But like my son is 18. He just turned 18 last week. If we walk in the grocery store and he doesn't open the door for somebody, I make him go find him and I make him apologize. I'm like, excuse me. And he has to apologize, say, hey, I was raised better than this. I'm sorry to not open the door for you. He is, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Respectful. And that's how I was raised. I don't think it's mean. I've never spanked a kid in his life, but he's very respectful.
He raised his kid to be a gentleman. Damn good gentleman.
You don't see too many of those these days.
But that's the important things in life.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, you learn master that art. A smile. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Dress well. You go to apply for a job. Shake a man's hand. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Right.
He's gonna make, wow, you have some morals, something. We can build from there. Guys walk in, hey, do I get the job?
Yeah, there's like no work ethic anymore. And I grew up with both my parents. They were so busy working all the time. I realized that's the only way you're going to make it in the world. You have to work and you have to work hard. So from the age of 12, I've always had a job. Now I roll gold and silver. And how cool is that to hold like 16-ounce bar of gold in your hands? It's pretty awesome.
Doesn't that feel like
It does. I held 2 of them in my hand one day and I had to take a picture just to
God,
prove it.
I was wearing a stronger bra tonight. Yeah. Ooh.
How important it is to do the job correctly because people's lives depend on the stuff we do. I mean, this stuff's going up in satellites, it's going in airplanes, it's going in medical equipment, and everyone just wants that paycheck, but they don't want to work for it.
See, and when the economy went kind of south in 07, I took a year and a half off of carpentry and I actually worked for Thermtech. We're in Waukesha.
Oh.
And I became a heat treater. And we did so much aerospace stuff. And it's like the precision.
The tolerances.
But all of a sudden they brought us in like, this is why this is important. Then a semi go up the road and it killed 5 people in a bus. I'm like, what? So the cop came in and that pen that hooks the trailer to the semi, it wasn't heat treated correctly.
Oh.
So it snapped when the cab put on his brakes, it sheared off, killed people.
Oh.
And they're like, aerospace, like, you have all these certifications to do it. I'm like, wow, this is really specific.
Right. Everything we do is specific. And the employees, they just want to, and management too, that's where the problem is. They just want to get numbers out the door, but they don't understand quality takes time.
Yes.
If you want quality, you have to pay for that quality. Like it's going to take me multiple times to do what I do because I have to cook the material in between rolling it and then trim the rough edges off and roll it again and then cook it again and roll it some more to get it to where it has to go. And they don't understand that. They just see numbers on a paper and expect it to happen. They don't understand the work and dedication and the knowledge that I have of all these freaking metals and how they react. And I learned that all on my own. Because I'm not going to be relying on anyone else. Like, I want to know how to do this part of the job and that part of the job, so I understand the whole picture and why it's important to do certain things.
And you always just hate, like, at what point do I stress myself out for somebody else that doesn't understand that? It affects my personal life. I started to do a tour here, a couple other places, right where I want to be. I'm like, ooh, I love going over by Pewaukee Lake for a beer. Just sit in the bar and listen to people, and it's a whole different conversation.
Over the lake, yeah.
Ooh, what goes on over here that they complain about every day, or they bitch about, or what are they happy about? And it's like, listen.
Right? It's so much fun. I totally get that.
I used to love going to work. Everybody laughed at me. I mean, I haven't done it in many years. I had a kid. I'm not loving my job. I used to take a second job in for, 10 years. I was a forklift operator at Toys R Us when it was still there. Best job ever. I got to play with all the toys. But back then, my God, many years ago, I haven't smoked weed in maybe 10 years, 15 years. My son is 18. Let's go back 10 years plus.
But the shrooms are in season.
I used to love. I did the addition on Brickville Square. I used to love going to Brickville Square and be stoned. And I would sit there with my coffee, and I'd people watching Christmas time, like Black Friday and shit. I would get up in the morning, go sit in the mall and wait, and I'd people watch. Never bought nothing, didn't care.
That's so awesome.
But
did you ever go with someone, or do you just go by yourself?
I had a friend that she'd always come with me. I have like a lot of lady friends, just hang out with. I just get along with them. Oh my God!
Did you provide your own commentary sometimes
we'd go to stone. Oh, we'd sit there and just like you said, like, hey, watch this. This is what she's doing, or something. I can't hear them, but it's like I would sit there for hours. But when I worked at Toys R Us, I'd have all the toys, everything ready. I was a forklift driver. Unload all the trucks, get everything ready. And on that morning, I'd be in the parking lot, passing out Pop-Tarts, we'd give out coffee and stuff, just watching the people. And it was amazing to me how pissed off, angry they were.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I was in line before you, I'm like, it's a point.
Right.
The giraffe was named Jeffrey, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Jeffrey. I remember back in the when the Cabbage Patch Kids were big and people were dying over that.
Okay, then that makes you early 40.
I just turned 49.
Okay.
Close.
I just turned 50 in July.
Congratulations.
So I'm right by you.
In closing, I would like to say that the opinions expressed here were strictly of my own making or by my guests. Take what you like and leave the rest. You may come to realize that you may not like me or what I want to share. Let's talk to each other, reason things out, but let there be no gossip or criticism of one another. Instead, let the fellowship of ethical human behavior and the serenity from positive human interaction help you grow and chill out one experience at a time. I would like to thank my higher power for guiding me through this podcast. I hope to spread the message of love, hope, and understanding by touching one life at a time. If you like this podcast, please like and share it. Comments also help other struggling people find it. I am now listener supported, and if you would like to contribute, please feel free. There is no obligation. If you would like to share feedback, you can email me at averagehumanbeing1875@gmail.com. There's also a link you can click if you'd like to send a voice message and add to the content of the show. Well, that's some fun little music. I seriously do not remember. I'm looking at the wrong screen. I really don't remember putting that intro in there. And I think this is like the only episode I've done with that intro. So that's kind of cool. I don't think I need to share my screen anymore. So there you have it. If you ever wanted to be like a fly on the wall while you're at a bar or eavesdrop on conversations, there we go. And Mike, he had some good things to say. And Todd is a pretty funny guy. And I remember both of you guys. So, all right, everyone, have a good night. Talk to you again. Bye-bye.